to all the Form 5 students. How are you? So today we will continue our tuition class. So let's see this question. This is a paper 1 question, statistic question. So you are given a frequency distribution table, right? So and the frequency with the class interval. So you're asking to state the mode mark. Okay, the mode mark. So normally for mode mark, you think of using the histogram, but this is paper 1. So I don't think you need to draw the graph, right? Maybe you need to sketch. For B, Mr. Andra, the subject teacher, intends to give reward to the best 25% students. Determine the minimum mark should be obtained by the student in order for them to receive the reward. So the keyword is the best 25% students. The best 25% student, okay? So when you see minimum mark and the best 25% student, you would think of using the OGIF. Okay, so you would think of using the OGIF, but you don't have to draw the OGIF. You have to use the formula for the either you use first quartile or use the third quartile. I don't think you will use median because median is 50%, right? Okay, so for this question, let's see how to do. Right now, you see there is a frequency table given. So the frequency table comes with class interval and the frequency. So for you to determine the mode, you have to roughly maybe figure out the distribution of the data. Maybe I advise you to try to sketch the simple histogram. Then you will see how is the distribution. And normally when you are asking to find mode, you need to sketch a histogram, and then you choose the highest three rectangle. Okay, then you draw a cross, right? A cross from the edges of the rectangle. Still remember how to do? Alright, so we will actually try to do later on. So for your information, for statistic is very important for paper 1. So you have to master the first quartile, third quartile, and interquartile range. And the formula for third quartile will not be given. They only give you the first quartile. So you have to modify your formula, right? Okay, now for first step, you have to try to add one more column. Maybe you try to write the big F and small f. The small f is the frequency, and the big F is the big is a big frequency. No, it's a cumulative frequency. Okay, of course the cumulative frequency will be bigger value than frequency, right? Okay, so how to find the cumulative frequency is you just add on. From 2 you plus 10, it become 12, right? You just continue add on the frequency, and 12 you plus the 17, you will get 29, right? And 29 plus 10, you will get 39. I think you all shouldn't have problem. You are very good in this one. So because your max also having this cumulative frequency, right? So 39 plus 16, 55, and then 55 plus 5 is 60. So the total sample of the students is 60. Okay, that is total number of the students. So the formula, you know, for formula for mode, we don't have formula. We have to observe the distribution of the data. So basically I advise you to sketch, okay, a simple histogram so that you can see how to identify the mode later. Okay, now we will try to work out the answer for the mode. Okay, I'm going to try to sketch the simple histogram. Okay, normally for histogram we need a graph paper, right? But for paper one, even if you ask the graph paper, I don't think the examiner will give to you. Maybe you can try, but I think we just sketch a simple one will do, because this is paper one. So let's sketch the histogram now. Okay, after you sketch the histogram, you choose the highest one, the highest frequency, which is 40 to 49, the rectangle, and then you draw the cross, okay, like what I show in purple color, all right? Then you find the midpoint, that is the mode actually. Okay, now the mode can be found by using the lower limit 40 and upper limit 49. Okay, you plus and then you divide by 2. Okay, or you can find the lower boundary and upper boundary for that class, model class. Okay, the model class means the class with the highest frequency, right? Okay, so now, okay, we are going to find the mode. So I will circle 40 to 49, and then you can find the lower boundary, which is 39.5. You can also find the upper boundary, which is 49.5, and the midpoint is actually the average. We take 39.5 plus 49.5 divided by 2, or you can say you take the lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2, you get 44.5. That is the mode. Okay, understand? I guess you got no problem. So for paper one, you don't have to ask for graph paper. You just sketch the histogram, and hopefully it is symmetrical. Then you can find the midpoint as the mode. So just sketch a histogram will do. Okay, all right, okay, no problem. So I guess you are good in histogram because your max also got histogram, right? So now we'll proceed to the next question. Okay, for the part B, you're asking to find the best 25%, right? The best, the best. So the best 25% is actually referring to third quartile. Okay, because as you can see the ogive, the upper part, okay, the upper part, okay, is actually the third quartile. The 25% upper part is actually the third quartile. So in order to find third quartile, so first of all you have to list out your cumulative frequency. Then your n is equal to 60, and then you should know that if you want to find median, you take n over 2, which is the 30th. Then you can find the median. And if you are asking for first quartile, you will find the n over 4, which is the 15. And now we are going to find third quartile, so it's 3n over 4, so it's 45. So the 45 is lies between which class interval? So you go to the frequency table. Actually, by looking at the big F, 45 is actually just within 55, right? So 45 is within 55. So we will choose 60 to 69 as our third quartile class. Okay, based on 60 to 69, we will do calculation. So now I want to explain to you about the ogive. So when you see marks, minimum marks, then 25% or 50%, 25% we have upper and lower, so be careful. So all these are actually median, third quartile and first quartile question. So when they give you the frequency table, normally they want you to use a formula. Okay, now I'm showing you the ogive. The middle one is actually the half of the sample, which is the 30th, okay, is having the median. The blue one is a median, and the Q3 is the upper 25%. So I shade in red color. So that part is actually Q3. So we want to know the lowest mark for the Q3, the minimum marks. So as you can see, Q3, actually the lower marks is written there, Q3. So we are going to use a formula. So make sure you decide whether you are using Q1 or Q3 by reading the question. If the question say the top 25%, then it will be Q3. If the question says mentioned to you is actually lower than 25%, then it will be Q1. Alright, don't confuse yourself. So now I will highlight the class, which is I call as third quartile class, in purple color. Okay, the 45 is just nice within the 55. So that is the right third quartile class. So now I'm going to, based on this third quartile class, to solve the third quartile. Okay, so your F got two type. One is small. The small one is actually the frequency at that class, which is 16. And then the big F is actually cumulative frequency before the purple color class, before the third quartile class, which is 39. Okay, 39, right? Okay, so from the class interval, the lower boundary is 59.5. Okay, based on that, we will do the calculation. So we write everything. We write our big F, we write our small f, we write our n, we write our l. Then only we will substitute into the formula. Still remember the formula? Okay, now we try to jot down the formula and check whether is it the same with the one given by me. Okay, now I'm going to write later. You try first. Okay, now my Q3 formula is actually is not given in SPM exam, so I have to modify. All right, so when I look at the formula, I still have L. L is still lower boundary for the third quartile, is plus 3n over 4 minus big F over small f times C. Remember, the over must be small f. Small f means the frequency and big F means cumulative frequency. Then only I will substitute everything there. So L is 59.5, 3n over 4 is 45, big F is 39, right? And then small f is 16, and the C is the size of the glass. Okay, 60 to 69, you can count. It's not 9, it's 10. I'll say. So you have to be very careful when you do statistics. Okay, so after you substitute everything, you have to calculate carefully. So when you want to do calculation, you have to always work out from the bracket first. Okay, now let's substitute together. 59.5 plus 45 minus just now our big F is 39, right, over our small f is 16, and then the size of the glass is 10, right? Okay, now you press the calculator for the bracket one first. Okay, so we don't do any addition first. We press 45 minus 39 over 16. What do you get? Okay, now we press the calculator. 45 minus 39 over 16. Okay, after you press, then you times 10. Then followed by you plus 59.5. Okay, the plus you will do the last step. Okay, again, you press 45 minus 39 over 16 equal and times 10. Okay, then you plus with 59.5, and I'm sure you get the answer, right? Are you? Yes, that is the right answer. 63.25 is the right answer. Okay, right? Understand? Okay, good. So now we can actually master the statistic already. It actually for first quartile and median almost the same. Okay, now let's see this question. This is actually almost the same like mathematics. So a table shows number of different colors of pen in a bag. Okay, we have red color, we have blue color, we have black color. So I think this question majority of you can do because you actually very expert in maths, isn't it? So your maths also got this topic. So now we want to choose two pen. Okay, two pen. When you choose two things at the same time, two pen okay will be taken at random from the bag. So you're asking to find the probability for the choosing the same color and different color, right? So let's see the question. Yeah, you have to find both pens are same color and both pen are of different color. So now we try to figure out how to do by draw a tree diagram. So a tree diagram actually must start with a dot and then it will branch out according to the outcome. So you have red, you have blue, and you have black, right? So okay, so we are going to draw according to color, and then we write the if you are having black, which is same letter with blue, so better change to other letter. So we choose hitam. Okay, hitam is the black, so we use a H lah. So it's easy for us to observe later on. Okay, so now for the black one we draw first, and then we'll draw another two, which is red and blue. Alright, okay, after you draw, you need to write the number of the pen that you want to choose, okay, on the branches. So okay, now I show you the blue color. Later I will show you the red color. Okay, so we draw all the branches already. So now we label. Okay, blue we label as B, and then red we use R, and then black we use H. Now we want to label all the number of pens on the branches. So it's very important you label so that you can do calculation without mistake. So for red we have how many, for blue we have how many, and for black we have how many. So look at the question, then you just write on the branches. Okay, now let's label on the branches. Label. Okay, so I'm going to label all the pens according to the color. So okay, the red one beginning I have how many, so you just label on the branch of the red color. So I have 5, and for blue I have 6, and for the black I have 4. So if the first time you choose red, so the second time the red will reduce by 1, because one of the red being chosen by you. Alright, so you cannot choose again. So now the red one will reduce by 1, which is 4, and the blue one will become 5, beginning is 6, and then the black one will become 3. Alright, 4 minus 1. Of course the sample space for the first time is 15, but the second time, because it reduced by 1, so the second time the sample space will be reduced by 1. Okay, so will be 14. So that means when you do calculation, you must always remind yourself, is this dependent or independent event? So this is actually dependent event because the sample space actually change after the first event. So now we label our first event is the first pen that we chose. Second event is the second pen we chose. Okay, now we are going to do calculation. So if we want all the same color, that means you can choose red for the first time and red for the second time. Or you can choose blue for the first time and blue for the second time. Alright? Or you can choose black for the first time and blacks for the second time. So when you see and, I say red and red, blue and blue, black and black, so you multiply. Okay, now I write all the probability value on the branches. So I just divide by sample space for the first one. For the first one is 15. For the second one I divide by 14. And you realize that I only do the same color, the rest I didn't do yet. So I just focus on the same color so that my tree diagram not so messy. Okay, then I just refer to the question. The question want us to find all the same color. So I just multiply and plus, multiply and plus. Okay, until the black one, okay, you also multiply 4 over 15 times 3 over 14. Alright, and then you add all together. So your answer is, you have to simplify your answer. So I'm sure you can get the answer. The best thing is you just calculate the denominator, 15 times 14. Then you just add on 5 times 4, 20, plus 6 times 5, 30, plus 4 times 3, 12. Okay, 20 plus 30 plus 12. And then I'm sure you can get the answer, right? Okay, so you just simplify your answer to the simplest form. Okay, after you simplify to the simplest form, then you double check is there any mistake or not. Okay, now so I add everything, 20 plus 30 plus 12 over, okay, 210. So then I think I can simplify. I have 62 over 210. So I still can simplify to the simplest form. Actually, you can use your calculator to help you to simplify if you forgot how to simplify. So the answer is 31 over 105, right? Okay, so now we'll discuss the part B. Okay, for part B, they want you to find the probability of different color as you observe from the tree diagram. So the one that not the same color will be different color. So I just take 1 minus 31 over 105. Okay, so you can get the answer very fast compared to those multiply one by one. So you actually lose out in terms of time. So majority of the student can do, but they got no time to finish the question. So you have to go fast. Okay, you have to do fast. How to go fast is you must practice a lot from now on. You still got long time to go, still got 3 months. So I think you should start to practice daily, every day. Okay, so that you can go fast. Okay, so now we'll discuss the next question. After this question will be still I think probability, but the probability got many type, isn't it? Like this is almost the same like max, so it's quite easy. So now we focus on this type. This type is called probability distribution. We have three. One is called we have two types. One is called binomial distribution, one is normal distribution. So when you see bell shape is given, actually that is normal distribution. So they say the area shaded is given H, so you just label as H. And you must know that the area for the one whole bell is 1, right? And the area for half of the bell is 0.5. Now the question is asking you to find the probability for the z from 0 to k. Okay, you have to write your answer in terms of h. That means your answer can be have number and h. Okay, so as you can see from 0 to k, that area is actually can be found using the concept of the area for the half bell is 0.5. So the one that I shade in purple color is actually the one that question asks you to find. So the purple color area is actually half of the bell minus h, which is very simple, isn't it? It's very simple. Okay, so now the next part, majority of the student will have mistake. The first part they can get marks 0.5 minus h. They knew that half of the bell, the area is 0.5. So they will minus out the h to get the balance. And that balance is actually z-score from 0 to k. Now about the modulus, many students tend to forget. So now when you see modulus, you always see two lines, isn't it? So when you want to solve, you must actually take away the two line and return with plus and minus. Okay, you take away the the two line and then replace by plus minus, and you split into two equation like this. For positive one, no problem, z more than equal k, but negative one, you have to make z positive, so you have to divide by negative number. So when you divide by a negative number, you must revert the sign of inequality, right? Okay, still remember? No problem, right? Okay, now you need to sketch the bell shape. Without the bell shape, you're not sure where is the area you want. So now we start to shade. If less than is always left. So less than negative k, so we shade to the left. And more than is always to the right, so we shade to the right. Okay, so now you can actually give me the answer very fast, right? Because the area is just the same like just now, beginning of the question, the area was given h. So you have two sides, so you just h plus h. So the total area for the modulus z, okay, which is more than equal 5. So now your answer obviously is 2h lah. Is h plus h. So that is the final answer. So many students actually they are confused with the modulus. So they cannot do. Alright, so you must make yourself clear about the modulus, how to solve the modulus. Alright, so the area, total area is h plus h equal to 2h. And then just the gentle reminder, remember that if you solve the modulus, okay, make sure you remember to start with plus and minus. Okay, alright, no problem. Now we'll proceed to the next question. Just now is normal distribution, so normally they like to set another one which is binomial probability distribution. So from the question given, they give you the graph, they want you to interpret the graph. So for the probability x more than equal to, you're given 0.78. So let's go to the graph and read the graph. Okay, more than equal to, that means the 2 accepted. Of course, 3 also accepted. And then 4 also accepted. Okay, but you must know that the n is just 4, so you just stop at 4. Okay, so this part is 0.78. That means you look at the line, okay, the red line, you see the probability value is h, right? So you got 1h plus 1h, so 2h already lah. 2h plus another one, which is k, so you just write in terms of unknown, 0.78, right? Okay, now we still cannot solve, so we have to find another equation. So now we go to the one that start with the 0 and 1. So probability of 0 and 1, so we will add up, then equal to 0.78 minus, okay, let me label first, so 0.14 and then k. So when you see the value given, you must use a value. So now I'm going to substitute. So I just take my k and 0.14 is equal to 0.22. That's a balance. And then my k is 0.22. Minus out the okay, so you minus out, finally you get your answer. K is 0.08. Alright, understand? Okay, no problem. Now, okay, after you find the value of h and k, that means you almost solved the question already, right? So now we will try to find the h, because we have the value of k already, so we substitute the k into the first equation, then we solve the h. So 2h equal to 0.78 minus 0.08. Then you try to write 2h equal to 0.70, and then you solve your h by dividing 2 for both sides. Alright? Okay? Are you tired? I feel very tired. Alright, so now it's okay. So I just continue the last question before I sleep. So, okay. Now, let's see. So this question I discussed already. This is called probability distribution for binomial distribution. So it's very popular in exam. Okay, I think we stop here. Let's have a good rest. Okay, make sure you have enough rest so that you can reduce your careless mistake. Okay, with that, we will continue for next video. Alright, okay. So please make sure you always practice your maths when you're free. Okay, right? Okay, bye. Have a nice day.